You are in control.
Yeah.
So my position is it's called passive. You got to be passive. It's passive because the strength comes in the fact that, man, I'm acknowledging you as my queen. Hey, you are in control. It's a blessing that you're doing for me.
Okay, but how do you take that control from them without
by being responsible?
You gotta set the tone.
So you just gotta show it.
You gotta set the tone.
And you gotta have a conversation because it's a disease of the heart too.
Yeah.
Insecurity, like, see, you might be insecurity.
What is this conversation about right now?
About relationships with your wife, with your wife or your other half, the person that, the unity of a relationship. I want to tell the roles of man and woman from a law standpoint and from a social standpoint. And the social standpoint is you got now the role in the woman is they're so out front that they, I'm not saying all, but a lot of them from what I witnessed since I've been out, they're at a point to where they're so out there that they done forgot the purpose of, I don't need you.
Okay, so I got a question. So since we've been gone, you've been gone, why do you think the women are so far out there, so far have took a stance to the point to where the roles has switched?
Because they've been doing it on their own. Like my wife got everything on her own. She never had a dude there to give her nothing. She got everything on her own. She had an independence. So when she get with me, she's still in the control, and I let her be in control because I'm in. But now once I get out, the tables turn, and she don't want to let go. She don't want to let go of the reins. She still want to be I'm doing this, I'm doing that, let's do it like this.
And then on top of that, I mean, I don't mean to, to bash, the men out here, but it's weak cats out here.
That's
So with that weakness, they figure, okay, I don't want that. So now I got to step up, and I got to be the man figure, and I got to be the woman.
But when they stepped up so far, they stepped up so out there that they lost some of that femininity.
Exactly.
See what I mean? In exchange. So now they're more masculine. They're more taking the masculine approach. And they got used to it. They adapted to that.
Yep.
So now you approach a cat like us, right? Or should say man in general. A lot of these men out here got more feminine qualities, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So when a strong woman step to them, they cram up like a bro.
Exactly.
But when you step to a man, a real man, look, you can be as strong as you want to be, but you only can be a woman. You can't beat me being no man.
See?
You know what I mean?
See, these are the type of talks and subject matters that has been missing in society, but it's needed out here.
But DT, Dante had to finish this point, because I did interrupt you. Sorry for interrupting you. But the point you was making, Dante.
And with that, I mean, we have to, as men, as responsible men, we have to put the woman in check at times when she get too far out of line. We're gonna respect you to the fullest. But once you continue to act like, you're trying to do my role, then that's when the issue come in at. But the key to that is communicate. That's all we gotta do is communicate. And
But how do you check a woman that ain't trying to listen, they ain't trying to hear, without disrespecting her to the fullest?
In some cases, you gotta just kick back and let her say what she gonna say.
And be quiet.
And then say, okay, now it's my turn to talk. Now the same respect I just gave you, I listen. I want you to listen to what I'm saying now. And be firm on what you're saying to her.
Because we have become, because this is a time to where there is no respectability when it comes to listening to communication. Everyone want to out-talk the next person. So you trying to get your point across, she trying to get her point across, and then it causes arguments. And then the tone is raising. One person think the other person is becoming disrespectful when it's really not, but in a way, it's not allowing someone to really express themselves so the other person can understand. And that's what's really needed in these day and times.
And not only just that, right? Go back to your question, right? As strong as she is, or proclaims to be, every woman wants to be submissive to their man. Because God created them. I'm not speaking on what my ethos is or anybody else. We're talking about what God created us to be, our roles. Like I told him, man, I can't beat you being no woman, and you sure can't beat me being no man. So let's figure out what our roles is first. Because for you being my wife or my child, what Allah decreed for me, then you have to acknowledge me as your man. It shouldn't get to no bullheaded stuff. But I have to listen. See, my thing, I have to give her her right to say, I hear you, baby. I'm gonna let you know what I mean? But when you finish saying what you're saying, now I'm gonna tell you what my role, what I think about it, and then what my role is to you. Because you don't want her to feel like, they be so strong, you don't want her to feel like, man, every time it's a subject matter, okay, at the end of the day, I'll tell you, it is what it is. I said this. They got a problem with it, because a lot of times we be wrong. They be like, man, you ain't even listening to me no more. if we just listen to the woman, their best interest is us.
But it gonna go both ways.
Yes, it is.
It gonna go both ways. It just can't be one side.
Right.
Just like, I listen to you, I want you to listen to what I'm saying. And then and also ponder on what I'm saying. Don't just say I hear you, and then you still back to your same shenanigans. That's when the issue come in. So the communication is important.
And you know the biggest punchline with that though? Sad but true, right? We want that equal equality, we want that acknowledgement, but as soon as we talk it, they gonna call us on it. And I've been called on mine.
Oh yeah. They waiting for us.
Said this. That's why I do what I do, because when you say it, or when y'all say it, you know what I mean? Then y'all don't back it up. 90% of us as men. The 10% is kind of hard to find. They're already taken. They're already in high mountains. You know what I mean? They're already in high standards. You don't see this 100% man that they're looking for. You don't see it. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying to us is that it's coming upon us to do what we say. Say what we mean what we say. So they can see the results of it. But if you have conflict in that, then they're going to call you on it. And that's where the problem will come in at. Because at some point when they married you or when they got with you, they seen that in you. They submitted to you when they chose you. No woman is gonna come to you and say, yeah, man, you're gonna be with me right now. You know what I mean? They came submissive. It changed at some point. So it happens. It was a dynamic relationship, right? So it's on us.
So where did the change come in at?
What far as they role, acting like, are they trying to take over the role of a male? Like that's what you're talking about, Nike?
Yes. Yes. Well, I think or believe, my personal opinion, it becomes the fear factor. The fear of one coming home who was once dependent on the woman, who was once dependent on the woman. Now, once you land on your feet, fear of, my man got a job.
And let me tell you this.
My man have a husband. Excuse me. My man who is my husband, now he's acting like a husband. He's being responsible. He's paying the bills. He's taking care of his car note. He's taking care of his rent. He's taking care of everything he's supposed to be taking care of as a man, being responsible, right? So the fear is, he is one who is independent, one who is strong. He's no longer weak. He no longer has to rely on people who was once telling him what to do. See, so it gets confusing or misconstrued when we come home. They knew us as someone who had to submit unwittingly to authority. So they have those misconceptions of their own authority as a woman who telling or need to tell a man what to do, right? So we've been gone, or as those who haven't even been gone, can walk home or come inside the house. A long day at work, a long day at being with your brothers, a long day at taking care of business. Where you been at? Or just look at you funny. As if you shouldn't even been socializing, doing some good things, not asking, how was your day? What was going on? What did you guys take care of? So my question, with that being said, why is that, Oscar?
Well, I mean, a lot has been said, and what I can say is it takes two type of people to appreciate people. It takes a real man and a real woman to appreciate each other. So a real man would understand how to appreciate a woman and the responsibilities that fall behind that, of paying the bills, of being there. And sometimes when you get older, I heard Amir Mustafa said this a few times, when you get older, it's not always about having sex and being in the bedroom and stuff like that. I mean, that's going to be your wife for years.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that might not happen. But then we start, as human beings, we're like, man, how come she ain't giving me or this, that? But again, that's just how the course that Allah wants it to take. You know what I'm saying? And so as long as she's fulfilling her rights to you and you're fulfilling your rights to her, khalas, Allah will put blessings upon that. Now, it also takes a certain type of woman to appreciate a man, because nowadays we're seeing that women are not being they're not understanding how to appreciate they man. So I would just say, you know,